Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Kwame Asha'Allah. Just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS. Yeah, I did a recording earlier, and then I got interrupted. Someone called me, and then it just disrupted the app. I hate when that happens. I always get phone calls when I'm doing the work for some reason. It is what it is. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. I always get interrupted. So anyways, man, I'm here now through the Spirit. Hopefully this will be edifying. And also shalom to the hopeful elect. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, so this is breaking news that came out. And this is going to be somewhat of a follow-up to the previous video that I did yesterday. It was called Revelation 12 and 9, Third World Worries. And this is more worries coming about because what did Biden just do? Let's read the headline. This is from Forbes.com. It says Biden lets Ukraine hit Russia with long-range missiles, a major reversal after North Korea joins fight. Wow. So, hey, this is what they're doing, and this is a rumor of war, and this could escalate the tension and the conflict that's going on over there, the war between Russia and Ukraine, which we know by now. Obviously, you should know that Russia is not just fighting Ukraine, because when you go into the data, to the statistics, do your own research, man, Ukraine can't hold its own against Russia. And they didn't do too well. And that's why them NATO troops had to come in there and aid them and help them out and also supply them. And that's what's going on. So really, Russia is against NATO. Russia is fighting NATO. Okay. NATO going into the whore that sitteth upon many waters, the whore that rides the scarlet beast, which is America, and those major kingdoms, which is the beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns. Those are the major kingdoms that are on the earth. That's who Russia is going up against, which we're going to get that. We're going to go into Revelation, the 17th chapter a bit, right? So, yeah, Biden lets Ukraine hit Russia with long-range missiles, a major reversal after North Korea joins fight. So now Joe Biden is allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles against Russia. So this is very, very bad because Putin and his top officials have been coming out for some time now, letting the world know, letting NATO and Ukraine know, hey, if you start using those long-range missiles, this may possibly go nuclear, right? And we won't hesitate. And now this is what you're seeing. So this could bring forth World War III. Now, let me get a precept. Let's go into rumors of war. That's Matthew 24, and I believe that's the 4th verse. Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at verse 3. All right. So it says here, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Beautiful, So, what are the signs of thy coming and what is the end of the world? And we know what the end of the world is, We can tell. How do we know that? 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's another time. That's also how you know we're at the end of the world, because Esau is ruling, and we are at the end of Esau's rulership. And right now, Esau is divided against himself. I believe that's in the book of, Mark, or also Matthew 2. It says, how can Satan be divided against himself? How can a house stand, right? You got the house of Esau divided against itself. Esau, Edom has a lot of bad blood between each other. You Edomites, because you descend out of who? You descend out of your forefather Esau. He's the progenitor of the Edomites. Them Russians, they're Edomites. Them Khazars over there in the land of Israel, they're Edomites. They're really the dukes, pursuing to Genesis 36th chapter. They're the dukes of Esau, Edom. They're his grandsons, I believe. And then also you have the Edomites over here in America. And they're against each other, man. So yes, that also shows we're at the end of this guy's kingdom, because he's divided, man. Right? He's more divided now than he was before in the past. So this is very serious. So that's Second Ezra 9. So that's the end of the world. We're at the end, guys. We are at the end. And also, how do you know that we're at the end as well? Some of the major prophecies, certain prophecies have been fulfilled, and we're in the midst of other major prophecies being fulfilled as well, going into the MOTB, the ICBMs, nuclear destruction, martial law, civil unrest. That's right around the corner. We're in the midst of those things, so we know we're at the end. We know that our Lord is about to return, because them prophecies are going to be fulfilled. So verse 4, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And a lot of individuals out here are deceived into thinking that they're in a good case, and that this will not escalate, right? They're thinking that Donald Trump is the solution. No, it doesn't matter who you put into power. Prophecy is going to still be fulfilled at the end of the day, right? Right, so there you go. There you have it. I don't know, I'm just thinking about something real quick. But I'm going to read this one more time. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. That's right, many are deceived. A lot of you people don't know what time it is. I'm going to get that in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Right? You don't know what time it is, and that's why a lot of people out here are deceived, because they don't know what time they're in. They think they're in the time of peace when really they're in the time of war. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, and I'm going to jump around, and the point will be made, I believe, in verse 8. It says, a time for everything. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. That's right, under the heaven. And we're under the heaven, because who sits in heaven? The Heavenly Father. Remember, the scripture says, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. And by default, you should know that the Lord is controlling everything that takes place under heaven, which is where we dwell. And how do we know that? We know that through prophecy. And prophecy dictates the time. If you want to know what time you're in, you have to understand prophecy. And you got to understand history. And you got to go to the prophets, because the prophets are going to tell you what time you're in. Okay, and that's another thing. A lot of people out here, they don't want to listen to the prophets. And, they don't even know who the prophets are. Some people don't. A lot of you people are just living your lives in ignorance, man. But then again, there's a saying out here, ignorance is bliss. Well, guess what, man? That the day of the Lord is going to hit you hard. And then you're going to worry. And then you're going to die. All right, so yes, there's a time and place for everything. Verse 2, a time to be born, and a time to die, and a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. That's right. So yes, we're not in a time to be born. We're in a time to die. Long-range missiles, that's an instrument of death. That's going to kill a lot of people. That's going to destroy lands. It's going to destroy infrastructure. Right? Those explosions, those bombings can change the course of history, or how we live life. And I'm saying that because this could escalate into nuclear war, World War III. So we're not in a time to be born. We're in a time to die. Okay. And yes, this is also going into, the life cycle, right? The cycle of life as well. But I'm just saying it a different way, I'm just applying it to the article. So it says here, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. That's right. And the Lord, he planted his elect down here, and he's going to pluck them up. Because in scripture, going into Revelation, the 14th chapter, that the angels are the reapers. And Yahushua, he's the prime reaper. And he's going to come back and deliver his elect, and they're going to be beamed up into them ships. That's pursuing to Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. Come out of her, my people. Roughly paraphrasing. Right? So the Lord, he planted his elect down here. They've been faithful. You know, they've been watching, they've been praying, they've been patient, pursuing to Ezekiel 9 and 4. They've been sighing and crying for all the wicked and abominations that have been taking place in the earth. So they're going to be plucked up. All right? They're going to be plucked up into them ships. And, you know, while they're being plucked up, then destruction's going to happen. Right? And that's what the Lord is going to bring. You know, he's going to bring destruction to this place. Right? So it says here, verse 3, a time to kill and a time to heal. That's right. We are in a time to kill. Reminds you of that song that 40 Cal made back in the day. I got a license to kill. Yeah, man. I got a license to kill. That's right. And the Lord has a license to kill. And you know why? Because he didn't give you a license to sin. And a lot of you people out here, you think you got a license to sin. I believe that's found in the Apocrypha. The Lord, he didn't give you guys license to sin. That's what he talked about. So that's why there's going to be a time to kill. And, you know, this is a part of it. This is going to kill a lot of people, man. You know, whether they shoot off them long-range missiles and the outcome effect that it's going to have in the future for World War III, you know, possibly, right? A lot of people are going to be killed. A lot of people, right? So, yes, we are in a time to kill, okay? And a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. Now, I'm going to jump down to verse 8. A time to love. That's right. And we're not in a time to love. You know why? Because love is keeping the commandments. Scripture says that, roughly paraphrasing. I believe the Lord said it. If you love me, keep my commandments. And the majority of the world, they ain't keeping the commandments. So a lot of people out here, they don't know how to love. And also, it says the love of many shall wax cold. And that's what's taking place in these last days. A lot of people out here, they're very cold-hearted, man. From the people who are ruling on top to the low level people, to the subjects. Everybody out here is cold-hearted. You can see it how the way, you know, the average person interacts. You know, how the average people interact with each other. You can see it. Everybody wants to cut each other out. Everybody wants to flip the bird. Everybody just wants to start something. Everybody wants to get froggy, man. So yeah, man, we're not in a time of love. Because the majority of you people out here, first and foremost, are not keeping the commandments, man. You only got a few individuals, which is the elect. And really, they're not keeping it fully either. They're just rehearsing the righteous acts. So, you know, we're definitely not in a time of love. We are not. We are not. And does this look like love? Does this look like love? Look at this headline. Breaking news. Biden lets Ukraine hit Russia with long-range missiles. A major reversal after North Korea joins fight. Does that sound like love to you? No, this is retaliation. It means he's got to hit back because of how Putin let the North Koreans join the fight. So he's got to hit back. He's got to show force. So that's not love, right? That ain't love. That ain't love. See, a lot of you people, man, you don't know what time it is. We're in the time of war. We're in the time to kill. We're in the time of hate. Right? This is not time to be a Swiftie and enjoy the 6-day concert. No. Right? So verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Beautiful. A time of peace. There you go. A time of peace. And we're not in no peaceful times. Peaceful times are going to play out in the kingdom of heaven. And that's what we're working for. That's what we're working for. We're working for the kingdom. We're working for our afterlife, which is the kingdom of heaven, man. We want to secure our spot because we want tranquility and peace. Because this world ain't giving us that. It ain't, for the most part. You know, there may not be war where you're situated at, but there's other things you have to go through. Mentally and psychologically and also spiritually. Right? And I believe we're up against principalities and spirits, right? That's in Ephesians, the 6th chapter. And that's what we're really fighting against. So you may not be you may not be experiencing physical war where you're located, but you're going through a spiritual war, right? And that's what you go through over here in North America, man. You got this whole woke agenda. You got this whole LGBTQ. Got all this woman's liberty. Man, everybody's divided. You know, the sexes hate each other. Got these different genders, man, coming out of the woodwork. Come on, man. So we're at war. All right, so I want to go into the article a little bit, and it says, let's go to the key facts. All right, this is what you should be. This is what's really much. This is what's stated in the article, but these are the key things that that the article itself is talking about, and it's good to know. So it says Biden signs off on the use of the Army tactical missile system, which has a range of about 190 miles, as Russia is planning a large-scale attack in the Kursk region of western Russia in hopes of reclaiming the territory Ukraine seized there in August. According to the Washington Post, the missiles are initially expected to be deployed to help Ukraine fight off Russian forces in Kursk, but Biden could eventually authorize their use outside of the region. The New York Times reported, citing U.S. officials, Biden was reportedly compelled to sign off on the use of weapons inside of Russia, which he previously resisted, after more than 10,000 North Korean troops arrived in the Kursk region in October. U.S. officials expect the missiles won't change the course of war, but could lessen the impact of Russia's planned assault in Kursk and send a message to North Korea not to send more troops, the Times reported. But I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, because Putin and his officials were saying, man, if you use these long-range missiles, you know, we're going to retaliate, and it might be nuclear, and we won't hesitate. So I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean it won't change the course of the war? Of course it will. What are you guys doing? But you see, you know, that's the Lord, man. The Lord is just making these people get silly, man. and that's for prophecy. But anyways, Ukraine first began using U.S.-supplied ATACMs against Russian forces occupying territory in Ukraine in October, but Ukraine was prohibited from using the missiles on targets inside of Russia, the Times reported at the time. So, yeah, there you go. All right, and you can read the article for yourself. I'll post a link in the description so you can go and do your own study. But yes, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And that's what we went into when the disciples, they asked the Lord, and the end of the world, and of the end of the world, you know, what are the signs when you're going to come back? So verse 5, it says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we're hearing. This is a rumor of war, because this can spark World War III. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. That's right. These things have to happen. And it's really the beginning of sorrows, right? These things have to happen. So, hey, if you're worried now, wow, wait till what the Lord has in store for you in the future. It's not going to be pretty, right? A lot of you people are going to panic out here, man. Hell, a lot of you people are panicking now. A lot of you you softies out here, you people living that soft life. You're used to your comfortable job. A lot of you people out here are complaining that you can't make ends meet. But here it is, you make $30 an hour, man. Some of you people are making $40 an hour. You know, your salary is $100,000. And you're complaining out here, man. Well, if you think it's hard now, wait till what the Lord has in store for you in the future. You people are going to panic, and you're going to lose it. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrows, right? Reminds me of 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And we're at the end of Esau's kingdom because Esau is divided against himself. You got the house of Esau battling each other, and there's so much bad blood between them. Right? Bad blood. Got a lot of bad blood. Let me get a precept. Divided. It's in the book of Mark. So let's get Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that's right, a house being, your family members, whether it's a royal house or even a peasant house, right? And Esau, Edom, he has a house. Edom is the house of Esau. Edom comes out of Esau, right? So Esau is the progenitor of you so-called white people. And not all you white people get along. You got the Ashkenazis, you got the Khazars against the Caucasians over here in America. You got them against the Caucasians over there in Russia. And vice versa, man. So you guys are against each other. There's a lot of bad blood between you. So you cannot stand. And that's how you also know that we're at the end of this guy being in rulership. All right. Verse 26, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there you go. I just got a call. Anyways, it says, he cannot stand, but hath an end. That's right. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. There you go. So, yeah, man. So, another thing, too, the whore that rideth the beast, that same beast, which is NATO and the EU, and the UN as well, they're going to turn against the whore, which is America. So them allied forces, man, right now America's calling the shots, as you can see right here. Biden, he rules America. He's calling the shots within NATO. But soon, man, them NATO forces, that NATO alliance, that whole alliance is going to fall apart. And the Lord, going into Revelation 17 chapter, is allowing that beast, which is NATO and the EU, right now to listen. He set them up to listen to the whore for a period of time. But eventually they're going to go down. Now let's get that. And that has a lot of people deceived. Man, America's on top. They're the world hegemon. They're in control. I don't see them ever going down. But, the Lord, he set that up. That's a part of prophecy. But eventually they're going to lose their position and they're going to be taken down. So this is Revelation chapter 17. And I want to just get to the point just for the sake of time. I'll start at verse 12. And the 10 horns. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to jump around. I don't want to. I actually just don't want to go hard into the chapter. I've covered this chapter before. But I just want to go into, here we go. Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And that's America, and America is the woman. And purple and scarlet color, it just represents royalty, right? Living very lavishly, living a very opulent lifestyle, right? And really, she's really a harlot because she's not in modest apparel, and that's the vibration over here in America. It's not about being modest; it's about being liberal and doing whatever you want, and doing thou will, right? Living your so-called best life. No rules, no morals. You can do whatever the hell you want. And that comes with abomination. That comes with filthiness and fornication, man. There's a lot of fornication or a lot of fornicating and abominable things that are done over here in America. On all levels, man. Spiritually, physically, and even mentally. That's why a lot of you people over here, you have mental health issues. A lot of people come over here, a lot of foreigners, they come over here and they're like, wow, these people aren't really sick. Why do they have so many mental health issues? Where I come from, it's harder to live over there than it is here. And why do you people have so much mental health issues? People are bugged out. This place is filthy, man. What you stand for. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Let me just jump to the point now. It says, verse 7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. That's right. So going into the 7 heads itself is Germain, I believe Germain Major. You got the French, the Spanish. You got Germain Minor. You got the British. You got the Greeks. And those are the major 7 governments or kingdoms ruled by Esau that America is over on the earth. Also, the 10 horns going into Belgium, Denmark. You got France. You also have Italy. I believe you have the Netherlands, Greece. You got Spain, Portugal, England, right? So West Germany, I believe, or Germany. Yeah, so yeah, those are those main kingdoms. And what are they known as today? The UN, NATO, and the EU. And America is over those organizations. So they listen to America. So, and that means America is at the head of the international community. They're at the top. So that is that woman, man, that rideth the beast. Okay, she is that one. And that beast also is spiritual in the reincarnation, because Rome was like what was riding the beast back then in the ancient world, right? Because it had tributary states that were under them. So that's what it's the same type of format that you're seeing play out today. The same thing. All right. So now let me go down to verse 14. Let's go into verse 14. Let's get to the point for the sake of time. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Yeah, so the Lamb is going into Yahushai. They'll make war with Yahushai. And you can go into Revelation chapter 16, verse 14 on down. Going into Armageddon, this is World War III, and Yahushai will take these nations down, during that time. Also, you can go into Joel, the 3rd chapter, the valley, or Joel 2 and Joel 3, going into the valley of Yehoshaphat. Right, so the Lord, he's preparing these nations for war. And ultimately, Yahushua is going to come back and destroy all these nations. He's going to take down. So yes, the King of Kings, that's talking about Yahushua. And it says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. That's right. So yes, the whore that sitteth upon many waters, the waters, being the people itself. And they are over the people. Right, they are over the people. And you can tell because everybody wants to be like America. And America's presence is felt around the whole world. That's why there's an embassy or a military base in almost every country, right? Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked. And here's the point, right? Here's the point. Yes, so, the beast and the horns, they're going to hate the whore that's riding them, which is America. So that's going into that whole NATO alliance. That whole alliance is going to fall apart. And those nations that are under America, they're going to turn against them. And what are they going to do? They're going to shoot their missiles upon America. So as you can see here, NATO, which is ran by America, they're helping Ukraine right now. And as you can see, America is calling the shots. But eventually, this is all going to fall apart. This is going to turn into something bigger. And this is what the Bible is going into. And we're letting you know that. So it says here, shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How is that going to take place? Through thermonuclear destruction, through missiles. And that's what's getting prepared to be shot off. This is all set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 17, it says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. That's right. So I'll read in the NLT so it's a little bit more plainer. For the Most High has put a plan into their minds, a plan that will carry out his purposes. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast. That's right. So yes, they gave their consent to work with the beast. And how did they do that? They did that with the money. That's why they made the world reserve currency the American dollar. The world reserve currency is the American dollar, the US dollar, right? So that's a part of giving consent, giving the whore the authority over the beast. And what did America do, man? she ruled the people in anger, ruled the beast in anger, man, by weaponizing the dollar. And a lot of these nations, they're not happy about that, man. They're not happy about that. So yes, it starts with the money and also going into the military that America has. That's how they're able to rule. But these nations, they're okay with that. They see this as a good thing. And that was really for economic reasons, to build their economies. Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. There you go. So all of this was set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this is letting you know that we're on the Lord's time. And prophecy dictates time. And if you want to know the time that you're in, you got to know prophecy. So a lot of people, they think that NATO, the EU, and the UN, they think that was a good thing. That they really think in their minds that was to bring them prosperity in the long run. But that is not the case. The Lord set this up so they can be destroyed. And we're reading it right here. Remember, I read in the NLT, a plan that will carry out his purposes. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast, and so the words of the Most High will be fulfilled. So this is all set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it. Right, and right now we're patiently waiting. And we're hastening the day, and we're looking at the times, man, by going into these articles, going into the scriptures, and you name it, and listening to what our elders and apostles are saying too. So anyways, with that, hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Yahweh, Bahashem, Rakah Chodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, of GMS, that do teach well, that have taught me this truth, and that do rule well. Kwam Yashala and Abba Shalom.